Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
I just said to Justin, our engineer, does this mean does this mean we're going on the air? I heard the intro. He said it does. Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. We're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And there's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. We've got a call-in number for you if you'd like. We'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Captain John Reagan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
How many years have we been doing this?
Believe it or not, it's supposed to been a little over 4.
Yeah. It's been delightful. John, I'm all excited. I got back late last night, and I needed to call Ed at user site. And I got back too late to call him, so I'm going to call him. And all the other instructors who have called and left messages for me to return calls. So if you, class, if you've called and you're wondering why I didn't get back to you, it's because I was on the road. But I'll be making those return calls after the broadcast and also this evening. I was out buying a tractor, and we were taking farming very seriously here. And John, I bought a brand new tractor. It's 31 years old. You know, when you think about that, I'm just delighted to have a 31-year-old tractor. And when you look at cars, you know that you're going to need to get you back and forth to wherever you want to go. You don't look at a 31-year-old one, do you? But tractors are a little different. And I got some advice from on buying tractors from Miles in Europe and Joey. And we've been talking for a couple of years about. Have you heard of a Deutz tractor, John? D-E-U-T-Z.
No, I haven't.
Deutz. Okay, it's German. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to post a picture on the website of this particular tractor. Weighs 8,500 pounds. It's about 85 horsepower. Some people say it's 90, but we'll say 85 horsepower. And it's a D-E-U-T-Z, Deutz. And the model number is DX 4.70, 4.70. Absolutely phenomenal. Best engineered machine I've seen. It is really impressive. And I paid very little for it. I paid $5,500 for a tractor. A new tractor like this would easily be 10 times, 12 times what I paid for it, easily. And the reason I'm doing it is I consider these things not only equipment for the farm, but if you buy good quality equipment, class, you can usually sell it for as much or more than you've paid for it after you've used it. And that's because of inflation. And I'm also concerned about quality. John Regan, I wanted to share this with you. I was talking to a guy who's probably going to become one of our newest instructors. And he works for a company that sells auto parts at the corporate location, headquarters. And I was talking to him, and I said, you know, when I was about 17, 18, 19, I worked at an auto parts store. And if you bought OEM, like if you bought GM or Delco parts, they were okay. But a lot of aftermarket parts were better. Better quality, stronger, better made, last longer. So you would upgrade from the whatever the factory sold you, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, GM, to aftermarket. You would upgrade to aftermarket parts. And I said, but I don't think that's the case anymore. He said, you're absolutely right. He said, as a matter of fact, here's what he told me. He said, you might be better off buying a used aftermarket part than you would be, like on eBay, than you would be buying a brand new part from the factory, manufacturing today. So the OEM parts are not necessarily as good. Excuse me, let me say that a different way. The aftermarket parts of years ago were better than the factory parts of years ago were not quite as good as in many cases, as the aftermarket. Today, the factory parts are generally better than the aftermarket parts. Complete reversal. So you might be better buying a used OEM part today than a new aftermarket part today. Interesting. And I've seen that in my own experience for today's parts. They just don't last as long as the factory parts. So that's all I have for the update for what's happening here at the farm. What's on our list for today's class?
Oh, nothing. Other than a few dozen items.
All right. I'm all excited about spy tech, but are we going to do Fukushima first?
We're going to do Fukushima first. I'm going to save spy tech and control for next hour. There's some other items I want to get into, and I want to make sure we don't run out of time beforehand. And what's really scary is when you look at that big, long list of spy tech, all those articles I clipped in the last week. These are not things I saved up. That was just a week's worth of information, and I didn't even include everything that came in last week. So it's coming fast and furious. And first up in Fukushima, I entitled the link, "Really? I mean, come on,
Right.
This is on the western side of Japan. Active fault line discovered directly below Japanese nuclear power plant. What could possibly go wrong?" I mean, underneath reactor building 1 of this plant, it's the Shika plant. You can't even begin to make this stuff up. And I've got another article, normal, abnormal, or abnormal, abnormal. And this was from the Daily Mail. It's about a dog, a 2-year dog in California that has 2 noses. So it makes you wonder, is this just something that's one of those mutations that occurs, at random, or is it a result of the radiation that's been hitting the West Coast?
Now, when you look at the picture of this dog, and it's on your website, the link is on your website, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and you click on the News tab, class. If you look at this picture of the dog, the first picture, it looks like he has 2 noses. But if you look further, what you'll see is 1 nostril in each half of the nose. So actually, it really looks like you can say it's 2 noses, but there aren't 2 nostrils in each nose, right?
Does not look to be.
Right, and it's a magnificent looking animal, but it's certainly a mutation, and we're seeing more and more of that, more and more mutations as the Fukushima and other radiation and other toxins continue circling the globe. And I'm very concerned about it. We've talked to a number of people, instructors, family members, friends, relatives, in-laws, outlaws. And we're hearing more about cancer and lung spots than we ever heard before. So I just wanted to share that with our class, that we are seeing more of this, a lot more. And if I think it'd be nice to do a broadcast where we connect some more dots about health. How many of us are having health problems? How many of us are more tired? How many of us have these coughing fits like Hillary Clinton has? Evidently, she's been flying around and she's got the coughing fits that are now being noticed far and wide. And a lot of us are coughing as well. So I'll make an announcement where we pick a day and we'll talk about, those kinds of things. And I'd also like to let you know, class, that we'd like to do a broadcast on tricks of the trade. How to do things that you may not know how to do that the masters know how to do. Like mechanics who have been doing things for years, they've learned little tricks to make the job doable for us. So if you have some tricks of the trade and you'd like to share them, we'll have a broadcast coming up about that. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say, over half of the women and men in Europe, let's say England, have been surveyed about changing their tires. They don't feel comfortable changing their tires because they're not really sure how to do it. They look at the lug wrench and they say, now what? I think I can find the wrench, but now what do I do with it? You have to jack the car up safely. And what if the lug nuts are so tight that, a lady just doesn't have the physical strength to loosen them? Well, there's some tricks. And we can talk about that in a future broadcast. Those are the tricks that I taught our daughter. And it's simple. You position the lug wrench, instead of lifting up on it, you push down on it. You just turn it over and you push down on it. And if you still can't push down on it with your hands, you make sure it's securely on the lug nut and you push down with the tip of your foot. Now, you have to be really careful when you do that. So I just want everyone to know that if you do this, you're on your own. Don't sue me because you got hurt doing it. But we'll talk about some of these kinds of tricks. Captain John Regan's with us, and we're going to talk about the financial state of the union.com news tab. I just can't believe how many items you have on SpyTech. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The list goes on and on. Going into commercial break, we'll be right back. I'm Vincent. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
Captain John Regan's with us. John, I was looking at the post about the Fukushima fault lines, and there are, as you reported, there's an active fault line directly below a Japanese nuclear power plant. But the post goes on to say that there's more than one. There are about eight of these fault lines. And then it talks about how some bribery was involved, and that the TEPCO, the Japanese power company, has been covering this up and lying. Well, we know that, but now it's made mainstream news that how serious this really is.
And it's like we talked about Friday in South Florida. Who in their right mind would, put a nuclear power plant, right there on the coast, subject to hurricanes and storm surge? It's like you have to be insane to do things like that.
Let me share this with you. I was talking with Joey. Joey called me a couple times over the weekend, and he was traveling, and in his travels, he stopped at a few of the Chinese factory outlets, and he told me that they have this clearance section. I had never been to a Chinese factory outlet clearance section, and he said that things were selling for pennies on the dollar, literally. I'm talking about something that might sell for $55 selling for $5, something that might be $13 selling for $2 or 25 cents. And he was finding these things, and I became quite concerned, and he was too. And what we were talking about is the management of the store was saying that, well, if we have these things for 8 months, we got to get rid of them and make that shelf space available. I don't understand how you can take something that would normally sell for $55 and sell it for $5 and think you're doing great stuff. So to me, that means that the management is being rewarded or punished based on inventory turnover numbers. How fast the inventory, you get it in, and did you sell it within 30 days or 14 days or 60 days? And the longer it takes to sell it, the more punishing or less reward, or maybe even getting removed from the store managers are. I don't know, but it seems to me that, well, price overcomes all objections, right? So no matter what it is, if the price is low enough, people will buy it. And that seems to be what's happening in the clearance center. They're lowering the prices to pennies on the dollar. And that seems to me to be another example of the faltering economy. Now, I passed a Chinese factory outlet yesterday with our son. We were hauling this tractor home. And we needed some fuel, and they had a Chinese factory outlet with a fuel pumps in front. So we pulled in to get some diesel. And I wanted to see what Joey was talking about. So we ran into the store and we looked at the clearance center. Not that we wanted to buy anything, I just wanted to do some research. And I didn't see anything that I thought was, they did have a clearance center, but nothing like what he was talking about in Michigan. In Missouri, what I saw was, a coffee cup, a stainless steel coffee cup with a lid on it that you could have in your vehicle. But it was $13. That didn't seem like a good deal to me. It was marked down to $13, but there's nothing special about it. I wouldn't consider buying it at $13. And I saw some other items, and I asked the lady about the price, and everything seemed to be way more than I would spend for it. And that's what I saw. But Joey found just the opposite in Michigan. And so I asked a lady at the checkout area, the self-service checkout area, and she was frantically surveying all these people buying things. I mean, she was really looking for people trying to cheat the store. And she said, yeah, they're closing a bunch of stores, and maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not. Just wanted to share that little observation. Back to you, John.
Now let's move on down into health. First up, I have a couple of articles about Splenda. And I remember when this came out, they're saying it's just like sugar, except it's got a chlorine atom. Well, when you add chlorine to a hydrocarbon like sugar, you now have a chlorocarbon. So chemically, that is more in line with chemical weapons that's been used in war than in foodstuffs. And we'll continue that after the break.
So John, are you saying that if we went to war, we would just distribute packets of Splenda to our enemies?
That might work.
We'll be right back.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Hey, I rode the elevator with you, but I don't work on the upper floors. I just want to squeeze in there right next to you, so the RFID scanner in my pocket can capture all your personal information, your debit and credit cards, even your work ID badge. So your identity is now my identity. Going up, so am I.
For over 10 years, ID Stronghold has pioneered RFID blocking wallets and ID badge holders for consumers, the U.S. military, and even the Executive Office of the President. Shouldn't you be protected too? ID Stronghold wallets cost about the same as wallets in most stores, but give you extra protection.
I'm Walt Augustinowicz, founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. Don't be a victim of electronic pickpocketing. Protect yourself from crimes you can't see with ID Stronghold wallets, card sleeves, and purses.
Visit idstronghold.com and get the original RFID blocking wallets and badge holders. idstronghold.com.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Meet up tonight, class. Meet up tonight. I will not be at Jimmy's Egg tonight. I'm working on the farm, but the rest of the meetup group will be there. That's Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. tonight in Springfield, Missouri. And let's see. Oh, and I have some seeds. I have White Harvest seeds that I'm going to give away. And they are Serrano peppers. They're hot peppers. California Wonder sweet peppers. And beefsteak red tomatoes, heirloom seeds. I will put 3 packs of seeds, one of each type, in an envelope. If you'll send me a postpaid, self-addressed, stamped envelope, if you'll send me one of those inside another envelope, I will pack them and send you a note with them. I'm hand signing each note, so it's taking me a little while to sign all of these. But I'm delighted to be able to do it. I have a few hundred left. And so they've been going out the door like crazy. I can't believe how many letters we've received for these free tomato and pepper seeds. No cost, no obligation. There's no trick. I'm just delighted to be able to encourage you to start your own garden. And these are from White Harvest Seed Company. Mike Knox, he's a USA Prepares instructor. I got them from him, and I'm delighted to be able to send them to you. And the instructions are on the package. And these are not little trial sizes. These are the full-size packets. The price of them, let's see, $1.75, $1.75, $1.50. So that's what you're going to get, $1.75 plus $1.75 plus $1.50. Just put a self-addressed stamped envelope inside of another envelope, and I'll send you the seeds. And they'll go out again today. They're going out a couple times a week, and I've got a whole bunch that I'm going to send out today. And so do it quickly if you'd like them. John Regan?
And don't forget the disclaimer. If you have heirloom seeds in your possession, you might be a terrorist.
Yeah. So, can you imagine? John, that's nuts. Absolutely nuts. My grandmother had them. My grandfather had them. My aunts, uncles, right? They all had them. We had them when I was growing up. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how far we have fallen? So, I guess what are we doing? Spreading potential terrorism by growing our own food? Is that what we're doing?
It's self-sufficiency. You're not reliant on the corporate one-shot seeds.
That's exactly right, class. And if you decide to plant these seeds and you save the seeds, you can then never have to buy these seeds again. Seriously. And these are my favorite. Okay, so these aren't things that I don't like. These are my favorite types of tomatoes and peppers. The same ones that we have here at our family. And I'm sure, as you've listened to USA Prepares, you've noticed elsewhere that others are talking about radiation and chemicals from the sky and the contaminants and the toxins in the food because we don't know where our food comes from. So the safest thing that you can do is grow your own, and even in a bucket. Even if you get a 5-gallon bucket from the Chinese factory outlet, where they make the cakes and decorate the cakes. Ask them if they can save you a couple buckets and plant some tomatoes right next to your back door if it's in the sun. Drill a couple holes, 1/4-inch holes, 1 inch off the bottom to let the water drain out, and plant your tomatoes and your peppers right there. Okay, John, back to you.
I think since we're talking about this subject, I'm going to make a brief side trip. The first link under bigger picture, don't eat yellow cornflakes. This is video taken inside a Kellogg's factory in Memphis. And one of the workers relieved themselves on the conveyor belt. And this was not recent, so don't go, pouring out your cornflakes or Rice Krispies that are also made in this factory. They're long past their expiration date, so if you had some of these enriched flakes, you've already had them. But it just goes to point out that you really need to know where your food comes from, because otherwise you have no idea what it contains. And as bad as this is, the glyphosate is even worse.
I was at a restaurant, John, quite a while ago, and the person was unhappy with the food and wanted to send it back. And my comment was, "Are you kidding? You want to send it back and take the chance of it being, enhanced, spat upon?" And I mean, you've heard all these stories. Well, I know some of them are true. So I try not to send anything back to a restaurant, and even more importantly, I try not to eat at a restaurant. However, I can tell you that at Jimmy's Egg, it is absolutely fabulous. So that's an exception. Okay, John, what's next? My computer's hung, so
let's try and get through the health section here. So I'm just going to run through these. These two Splenda articles are both mouse studies, and in one they linked the use of Splenda to leukemia in the mice, and it also determined that for the men, the male mice, that increased their cancer rate, and kind of strangely, for the female mice, it reduced the cancer rate. But either way, Splenda is not the best thing for you. I've then got an article from Mercola. I've got it linked, The Power of Fake Surgery. Healing with the Power of Placebo is the title of the article. And I think we all know about the placebo effect with drugs. Just taking a pill, there's a significant percent of people that get better simply because of this effect. Well, apparently it works on fake surgery as well. And that makes me wonder how many doctors are practicing this today. Then it's not just in the water. We find mercury not only in our lakes and streams, but on the land as well. High concentrations are falling in the rain, and they found that the level of mercury was actually increasing, and this is recent, between 2007 and 2013. This mercury is not coming from the U.S. Primarily, it's the coal electric plants in China, which they've increased a large number of. Of course, they want to shut down our coal plants here in the United States that have all this anti-pollution equipment on it that prevents things like this. And, disturbingly on the last line, and once an ecosystem is contaminated with mercury, it can take decades for it to become uncontaminated. And of course, mercury is a neurotoxin. Life sentence. Now we're discovering Ebola is for life. Those people that they treated and survived, there are lifelong consequences to that. And actually talked about this a little bit last week. Don't text and drive. Texting or even talking hands-free on your cell phone is distracted driving and is dangerous. And the reason talking hands-free is just as bad as holding your cell phone is you're talking to somebody that's not there. It's taken away from your concentration. Whereas if you're talking with somebody that's in the car with you, then you have a second set of eyes that can alert you to something you might miss. So best thing to do is just plain don't drive distracted. Vincent?
I have a couple comments, John. One comment is about mercury. I saw on the side of the road a fluorescent tube, like a 4-foot fluorescent tube. And then a car ran over it. And another car ran over it. And another one, and another one. And it's getting shorter and shorter, and it's on the side of the road. And no one has bothered to pick it up, so I'm going to go do that today. But here's the point. How did it get there, number one? I don't think someone threw it out the window. I think what might have happened is a trash pickup truck had that tube in it and it flew out. I think. I mean, I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. And let's just keep going with that thought. So we have this fluorescent tube, and we have all the compact fluorescent lights that burn out too quickly, way too quickly. And they just get thrown away. They get put in the trash and they have mercury in them. And then other things get put in the trash that are soggy and wet. And then the liquids, if you look at these trash pickup trucks, they compact the trash, they squeeze it to make it into a smaller volume. And then you see liquid dripping out of the bottom of these trash pickup trucks. And you have to wonder, what is leaking out of the bottom of these trucks? Well, it's the combination of the liquid and the chemicals and the mercury and all that. And it's just dripping as the truck goes down the road. And if you live on a road that has paved roads and curbs, then it goes down the sewer and it goes into the water supply. If it doesn't, it goes on the road and it goes into the water supply. Ultimately, it gets into the ground and water supply. It's a pretty scary thought, John. And that's just compact fluorescent tubes. Now, what about all the batteries? You know, the nickel-cadmium batteries and the rechargeable batteries and everything else we throw out. What about the hospital waste? What about all of this stuff that, we throw it away and now it's gone, so you don't have to worry about it. It's kind of like you start your car and you go, boy, the garage is all full of this exhaust. Let's air out the garage. Well, yeah, you air it out. Now you don't have to worry about it because it goes someplace else. That's by now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hi there. Are you an unhappy timeshare owner? Have you ever asked yourself, how can I get rid of my timeshare? Does your story go something like Stacy's story goes? Here's Stacy now.
My husband and I went and visited a resort, and they kind of attacked us, and they kept sending more and more people until we finally said yes, and we bought this timeshare, and then we were stuck in this timeshare that we couldn't get rid of, and we tried all different ways. They made it seem like it was this really great deal, and when we said no originally, then they brought the price down, and then when we still said no, they brought in the manager, and they brought the price down even lower, and they started breaking it in different ways to make it look like it was this really awesome deal. The reality was it wasn't an awesome deal at all.
To cancel your timeshare contract, call ACC today. It's an attorney-based program with a free consultation. The first 20 callers get a 20% discount. Call now, 800-587-EXIT. That's 800-587-3948. Call today, 800-587-EXIT. That's 800-587-3948.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
It's no secret that pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus can inflict severe damage in the human body. Fortunately, a new and vastly improved silver solution has been developed. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary broad-spectrum antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal solution that can be used inside the body as well as on the skin. Supernatural Silver is unique and superior to colloidal and ionic silvers, using a patented technology that is highly effective against colds, flus, infections, food poisoning, and yeast, in addition to many other pathogens. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, extremely safe, and is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Find out how Supernatural Silver could change your life. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HEALTHY for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, KD Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KD. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to KDArmor.com. Come and take it.
Captain John Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. John, you asked me also about my thoughts on distracted driving and talking on the phone. I am absolutely convinced that when a person's on the telephone, even if it's at home, let's say it's on a corded landline, not wireless, that when a person is talking on the phone, they are not totally aware of their surroundings. Okay? Now, that gets magnified when a person is behind the wheel of a vehicle. And the proof of this is if let's say someone who lives in your home is on the phone with a friend and they're talking back and forth and they're paying attention to the conversation. And then you say, okay, so you've been on the phone for a half hour. Now that you've hung up, tell us the 7 things that happened while you were on the phone in the same room where you were. Let's say it's someone talking on the phone in the kitchen. It's very difficult for the person to tell you what happened because they weren't really paying attention. They were on the phone. And I believe the same thing is true when driving. If you're driving, if you're behind the wheel, I don't think it's possible to pay full attention to the activities that are required to be operating that vehicle. And the proof of that is the person alongside you in the passenger seat can say, so tell me about the 7 things that we saw in the last 10 minutes. Tell me. What were they? Oh, I don't know. I'll bet that's going to be the answer. And John, there's a post on the internet. It's on Daily Mail. I'm going to link to it during the next commercial break. There was a vehicle who was tailgating. I mean, really, really close, tailgating the vehicle in front. And the guy in front taps his brakes. The guy tailgating slams on his brakes, loses control, and crashes into the cheese grater in the center aisle and destroyed his car. And so is there a reason to tailgate? I mean, is there really, and it happens to me. It happens to me a lot. And we were on the road yesterday with the trailer and the tractor, a heavy load, all lawful, but still it was a heavy load. And people would pass us and then slow down in front of us. And class, if you haven't pulled a heavy trailer, it's not as easy as you might think. And it requires a lot of attention and a lot of skill. So please don't be involved in cutting off tractor trailers and tailgating them and pulling in front of them and slowing down. Give them extra room for everybody's safety. John Regan?
I'm going to try and make the bottom of the list by the top of the hour. Antenna search. The U.S. is number 1. Ballistic ? Missile, CFR background, and can't arrest criminals because. The antenna search is a site where you can put in an address and get a list of the cell towers nearby. So if it's where you're living now or where you might want to move to, that's a nice tool for you. The Department of Education study, graduates in the U.S. look like other countries' high school dropouts. Well, it turns out the U.S. is number 1 in a number of categories. Prison population, obesity, child abuse death rate, hours spent in front of the television, teen pregnancy rate, prescription drug use, citizens killed by police, debt, crime, and arbitrary, immoral, and downright evil laws. Ballistic ? Missile. Russia has a new missile. They call it ballistic, but it can change directions. And that's why I question the ballistic. When you look at firing a projectile, whether it's a handheld gun or a large gun, it's basically based on the speed and wind and gravity. And once you do those calculations, you know where the projectile is going to land. But if you have something that changes directions, it means it makes it very hard to try and knock out. Because when you're setting up an anti-missile missile, if it's changing directions, that other missile isn't going to know where to go. We talk a lot about the Council on Foreign Relations, and there's not a good summary for this, but nice background if you really haven't read up on them before.
John, when we come back, I'd like to just visit the American Idiot, this post about Department of Education study. The Department of Education has destroyed our education. We were at the top of the list, and now we're at the bottom in many categories. I'd like to just revisit that when we come back. Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Ben Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
For the most amazing, calming, brain-stabilizing, blood sugar, and natural addiction-breaking formula, try CalMind. Anxiety melts, panic is gone, sleep is restful, and you'll stay calm during stress. Better than booze, mind-altering drugs, or anti-anxiety, antidepressant, toxic medications, CalMind lubricates your mind so you'll sail through the day effortlessly. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com and listen to the NutriMedical Report every weekday on the GCN Radio Network. NutriMedical, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Captain John Regan's with us, and in class, I got a whole handful of really nice thank you notes, just about the seeds, and they say things like, here's one from CL, I love your show and learned a lot from listening to you and your guest, and I'd like to thank you for the seeds. Thank you for the seeds you offered. Keep up the great work and info on your show. And it's R. Myers sent that. Another one, thank you for your seed offer. I decided to take you up on it and start a bucket or two. That's from Josh. And then here's one from Chuck, and it says, I'd like to thank you for your show. He says, John, he says you have pretty good ideas. He says, I've been using the trick with the razors. It works great. And class, what that is I shave in the shower. And I don't use a mirror, and I've been doing it for decades. And I just take a bar of soap, and I put it in the palm of my left hand. And I put some soap in my left hand. And then I put the razor, and I rub the razor backward across the palm of my hand with the soap in it. And it resharpens the blades. And I've been getting, like a year out of every razor blade. A year. Now, you have to have soap on your skin, otherwise you tear up the blades. Then you make sure you rinse off the blades as soon as you're done, and make sure that they are set so that the water will drip off them. Okay, so I just shake the razor and get rinse it, and then shake the water off the razor. And so that's just a simple trick to let your razor blades last a long, long time. And you can resharpen them every day. And if you want the seeds I talked about, White Harvest seeds, I'm delighted to send them to you. My favorite seeds. You'll get hot peppers and sweet peppers and red tomatoes, heirloom seeds, absolutely free. Just send a stamped, self-addressed envelope to Vincent Finelli. That's Vincent, last name F as in Foxtrot, Inelli. P.O. Box 99. That's P.O. Box 99, Grove Spring, Missouri, GROVESPRING, one word, MO, M-O, 65662. And we'll put them in the envelopes and send them out post haste. John Regan, where would you like to begin this hour?
Well, get started with Spy Tech, but first I just want to make a quick talk about the Hear the Watchman conference. That's going to be this Friday. Today's the last day of being able to order tickets online. And my understanding is if you use the code HAGMANN, HAGMANN, you can still get a ticket for $99. After today, I believe it's only available at the door if they have any available, and the tickets will be $149. You can also order the live stream and have a review for 7 days after the conference for $29. I don't know if that expires today as well, but I have heard that price will be going up to $49. Either way, it's a great deal. And if you're going to the conference, two things. If you want to look for me, I'll probably be seated somewhere in the back because I injured my back about 15 years ago. And not only can I not stand for very long, these lovely chairs, so to speak, that they have at these conference centers tend not to be the best. And I can typically make it, at least the first go round, 20 or 30 minutes before the pain gets to me and I have to stand up. So if you see somebody in the back, alternating sitting and standing, that's probably going to be me. So you can come up and say hi. And Friday after the show, I got a call from a friend of mine in Springfield, really excited. They're going to be able to go to the conference. They're planning on leaving Springfield at 6:30 Thursday morning. And we got to talking, and just in case there's somebody else in the Springfield area that is going and you want to cut your gasoline costs in half, if you'd email me, I'll get you in touch with this person. So you can either go to the contact page at thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, or you can email me, John, at thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. It might be easier going to the contact page because I know the domain name is exceedingly long. And that's why you see a lot of funny company names nowadays, because it's very hard to get short domain names that have any meaning. But if you let me know, like I said, I'll get you in touch with the person and you can cut your gasoline costs in half and have company for the trip.
Yeah. And do I know this person, John?
Actually, you do. But we're having anonymity for being on the air.
Sure. No, I understand. I understand. So if it's somebody I know, I'm sure that you'll have a great time with this person, because if it's one of our meetup group, we have a wonderful meetup group. So there you go.
So, Spy Tech and Control. Oh boy. It's like I told you Friday. There's just a tremendous amount. Fasten your seatbelt. Let me take these in groups. Let me make the first group from smaller cameras. Bitcoin helps cops. The mouse rats you out. Grabbing improves. Feelings. Sign biometrics. Cloning fingerprints. And the engineers don't know. So they have now developed a camera where the lens is 1/2000th the thickness of a human hair. The advantage is that could make your phone basically thinner than a credit card. The part that troubles me is now you can have these really small cameras that can also do multiple lenses, which allow for certain things, basically insect type eyes. And it's kind of like the last thing we need is, smaller cameras to spy on us. Then a discussion on how Bitcoin technology helps law enforcement catch criminals. And that gets back to the blockchain technology we've talked about before. It gives you a trail of who's owned it. So if you think you've got anonymity, think again. We've talked about various biometrics, and there's so many, and some you just can't change. Others you can try to fake, at least for a little while. The one I think most people think about is your fingerprint, but it's your iris, your retina, it's the way you smell, it's your heartbeat, it's the way you walk. Well, there's another one. It's how you move your mouse. And how you move your mouse can be used to track you on the Tor network. So if you're using Tor to try to be anonymous again, just the way you move your mouse can give you away. Then we get into how Google's learning machine is now able to grab things, getting close to human dexterity on that. And when you combine that with the next one, amputee feels texture with a bionic fingertip, you now have these sensors that basically emulate feeling. So that should make the grabbing even better for these machines. Another, I guess you call it biometric, artificial intelligence can spot terrorists by the way that they flash their V signs, because everybody apparently holds their fingers differently, making these V signs. And so if you get a picture of you with these V signs, even if your head's covered, it can rat you out as well. On the other side of biometrics, the thumbprint technology is now considered useless, based on Michigan State University doing some research where they printed a fingerprint and used it to fake out a smartphone. And the Google AI that is doing the ranking, and I guess the headline is, what I find so disturbing about it. Report gives a glimpse into the AI software, and even its engineers don't fully know how it works. Isn't that special? And it's similar to what we find out in the quantum computer area. Even the people that work with it don't understand how quantum computers work. But we're just going to rush ahead with all this technology, and it'll be great when it all takes over, and then we can have everything be fair, because it'll take all the human emotion out of things, and everybody will be treated equally by the machines. Vincent?
You're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and I remember when we started experimenting with that when I was in the banking world in the 1980s, the early 1980s. That's when banking was experimenting with it. Well, I got a chance to experience a little bit of AI yesterday. Our son and I went to the Chinese factory outlet, and as I mentioned during hour number one, Joey was talking about these clearance items that they had, and I wanted to see what it was like in Missouri, because he would tell me these fabulous deals that he could get in Michigan, and I said, we don't have those here in Missouri, so I just wanted to see if I was right. And we don't have them, the kind of deals that you have when you have lots of competition, where there are higher population densities. Anyway, my son and I swung through the automotive aisle, and we picked up some bar and chain lubricant. We got a couple jugs of that. They're, a gallon a piece. And we got some 2-cycle engine oil for the chainsaws. Got a couple gallons of that. And bought 4 5-quart jugs of synthetic motor oil for the gasoline-powered vehicles. And we went to ring it up through self-service and self-checkout, and the alarm goes off because we needed assistance because we had too many jugs of oil and or similar items, and required that the inspector come and count and make sure that we had the right number. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hey, I rode the elevator with you, but I don't work on the upper floors. I just want to squeeze in there right next to you, so the RFID scanner in my pocket can capture all your personal information, your debit and credit cards, even your work ID badge. So your identity is now my identity. Going up, so am I.
For over 10 years, ID Stronghold has pioneered RFID blocking wallets and ID badge holders for consumers, the U.S. military, and even the Executive Office of the President. Shouldn't you be protected too? ID Stronghold wallets cost about the same as wallets in most stores, but give you extra protection.
I'm Walt Augustinowitz, founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. Don't be a victim of electronic pickpocketing. Protect yourself from crimes you can't see with ID Stronghold wallets, card sleeves, and purses.
Visit idstronghold.com and get the original RFID blocking wallets and badge holders. idstronghold.com.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Biochemistry determines your mood, memory, energy, and endurance. Your body's primary metabolic function is to make protein. One World Whey is a unique, non-denatured protein. This enables your body to have virtually 100% utilization, whereas typical whey protein powders offer no more than 18% utilization of protein. One World Whey also delivers life-giving frequencies to your cells. The net result for so many people is improved energy, mood, and elimination of pain from inflammation.
This technologically enhanced One World Whey has been really amazing for me. I'm 36 years old, and for the past several years, I've been struggling with lack of energy, drive, and stamina. And after just 2 weeks on this product, I'm feeling so much more energy. My yoga practice has deepened, and as a massage therapist, I'm able to see more clients than I've been able to in years. I've never felt results that quick with anything I've ever taken.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, KD Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KD. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to kdarmor.com. Come and take it.
Captain John Regan's with us. John, you asked me about, the artificial intelligence and that subject, and I've been thinking about these driverless cars, and I have a problem with artificial intelligence in a lot of ways. And one area is, when I'm behind a vehicle, and I can look through their rear window, I can see the driver's attitude, the posture, the body language, whether he or she is inclined to be distracted. And I make my driving decisions partially upon what I see of their driving attitude, if you will. Now, if we're talking about AI in charge of these vehicles, these driverless vehicles, I'm concerned about hacking. I'm concerned about computer malfunctions. I'm concerned about glitches. And you hear the word glitch a lot. And what I understand the word glitch is not what it's being used as. A glitch is a non-reproducible event. Something happens and we don't know what exactly caused it. And you can't make it happen again under those circumstances. It's kind of a random event that just happens. And I'm concerned about that. And of course, electromagnetic activity causing these vehicles to malfunction and crash and so forth. And I'm not really excited about a lot of what I'm seeing in artificial intelligence. So that's my comment. And it's getting in the way. It's getting in the way. Artificial intelligence stopped my commerce at the Chinese factory outlet when I wanted to buy oil. I mean, really, because it said that I had too many. It couldn't. It needed to have a human come over and actually do a physical count and see if I put the right number of jugs of oil in the bags and in the cart. And then, of course, artificial intelligence shut down my credit card with UMB Financial. So I'm not all that excited about artificial intelligence. And I'd rather talk to a person on the phone rather than, when I hear, welcome to our automated system. That's the last thing I want to hear. I don't want to hear an automated system. I don't want to get stuck in that maze or that morass that you end up in. And how many people really get frustrated? I mean, I certainly do when I get stuck and trapped. And I want to not do business with those companies who don't want to talk to me.
Well, these next 3 articles aren't going to make you feel any better. Going, gone, and the implications. There's been a tournament between the top-ranked Go player and Google's DeepMind. And this DeepMind AI won the first 3 games, which gets it $1 million prize. The match is 5 games. The human won game 4. So we have yet to see, is it going to be a 4-1 or a 3-2 tournament? And the implications of that go well beyond just playing this game. Go is considered, much more complicated than chess. The average game has around 150 moves, and the board configuration, it's 10 to 170 power, which is more than the number of atoms in the universe. It's a number that we talk about trillions, but it's so much larger than that. And this can't be done with traditional hardware and software methods. The software doesn't make assumptions. This is basically learns from scratch. It's able to work off big data, so it can look at millions of games and create a model from that. And then it can simulate using other computers in addition to having the database and build its expertise all by itself without the need for humans. And when you put this into the real world, as this article talks about, the technology is going to cut through the global economy like a hot knife through butter. I actually think it'll be more like a laser beam. And we'll continue talking about the implications when we come back from the break.
Captain John Reagan's with us. And you may find this as disturbing as I do, class. Computers literally are taking over, and many people have said if
Don't know what's in your drinking water? Better get a ProPure. With the Pro 1 G2.0 all-in-one filter, remove over 200 contaminants, including fluoride and lead. Taste water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure water filtration products. There's a ProPure system for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details on our current free shipping special or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Hey guys, Pat Matthews here to tell you about the newest and best way to sell products online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com, an enormously revolutionary way to sell your stuff online. It's time to clean out the garage, your old golf clubs, sports equipment, tools, and yes, even your car. Forget about the way the other guys have taken more than their share from you when the sales were finalized. Look, it's happened to me over and over and over. Then I found buysellmakeoffer.com. They will never charge you item fees. Just go there right now to sign up and load all your stuff to our server to sell. This is not an auction site. Sell your car, sell your home. Realtor, sign up now. Just use our resources along with Skype and videos, then add your creativity to sell your items quickly and with no fees. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and sign up. The excitement is building. I've signed up to sell my stuff with buysellmakeoffer.com. You should too. buysellmakeoffer.com.
Destroy harmful bacteria, allergens, bedbugs, dust mites, fleas in your home with the Ladybug Steam Vapor System. The Ladybug dives deep on surfaces without any toxic residue. Traditional control agents contain toxic chemicals which do more harm than good. Sanitize and disinfect using just water. Quick, fast, and surprisingly easy.
Find out more now by calling 800-997-6584. Ask for Randy. That's 800-997-6584. Or go to advap.com/GCN. That's advap.com/GCN.
Imagine a pill that can improve your focus, your memory, your sleep. A catalyst to improve your brain chemistry. Dr. Bill's Cognition Plus is truly the smarter in an hour pill. A combination of amino acids, trace minerals, and B vitamins, Cognition Plus is made with specialized herbal extracts that will enhance and support brain function. Our customers say,
I feel more focused.
My memory's getting better.
I can work longer with more useful hours.
Power up your neurotransmitters that have been depleted, like dopamine and norepinephrine. Stimulate the release of others, like serotonin and oxytocin. Improve circulation and energy production. Protect your mind and your loved ones today. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Cognition Plus at 888-212-8871 or go online to NutriMedical.com. That's 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report every weekday on the GCN Radio Network. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
It's no secret that pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus can inflict severe damage in the human body. Fortunately, a new and vastly improved silver solution has been developed. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary broad-spectrum antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal solution that can be used inside the body as well as on the skin. Supernatural Silver is unique and superior to colloidal and ionic silvers, using a patented technology that is highly effective against colds, flus, infections, food poisoning, and yeast, in addition to many other pathogens. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, extremely safe, and is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Find out how Supernatural Silver could change your life. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HEALTHY for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
Captain John Regan's with us. John, you're talking about computers and how they're entering our lives every way you can imagine. And please continue.
Yeah, I've talked about it a number of times, how once we get to the other side of the financial collapse, there's really only a couple of paths we can take. One is war, in which I expect the grid to go down, and that's actually what I consider the happy path, because if we get on the other side and technology remains in place, what we're talking about today, the control of our lives, if we're allowed to live, is just going to be beyond, I think, even the worst of the sci-fi movies that have covered the subject. And
John, when you were at the Pentagon, could you have imagined any of these activities accelerating this quickly, the spying on Americans at every level? I mean, was this even a concept?
It wasn't even a concept that I was aware of. In fact, when I left the Pentagon in January '88, basically, small computers, the PCs, were rarely in use. It was all pretty much based on mainframe. And just a few years later, when we had Gulf War I, there was an explosion in use of the PCs. And having gone through the exercise I did when I was in Europe of replacing the base level and supply computer mainframes from the 1960s, computers that have been there for over 20 years, to see that kind of speed in change in technology, I didn't see it coming at all. And then, again, even though I was in the above top secret world, it wasn't until more recently I found out how low that above top secret world of mine was, that so many of those areas were or still are things that I think most people would find very hard to believe. And that's part of the problem. Not only do we not know about it, it's stuff that we don't want to believe to be true, which makes the acceptance of it, even if it was disclosed, that much more difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find it so difficult to understand the mindset of these sick people who want to learn everything about us. They're just they want to know about all of our habits. They want to know where we travel. They want to know where we buy gas, when we buy gas, whether we choose the regular unleaded or the mid-grade or the premium grade. They want to know what kind of socks we buy. Literally, they want to track where we shop. They literally have set up in the past antenna systems that will track a person walking into a mall. And I'm not exaggerating. This is old news. This is something from a couple years ago, where on a Black Friday in California and in Virginia, this company, Footpath, set up an antenna array to track people as they walked into the mall and track their every movement, where they went first, where they went second, how long they spent standing in each location, how long it took them to move from one place to another, which door they moved in, whether they went to Victoria's Secret or Sears or wherever they went, which cashiers they used, and so forth. I mean, they literally were spying on people, and they said, "Well, we're not tracking people." Really? Well, they have the unique identifiers to track every single person, and they have the technology to cross-reference the identifier with each unique cell phone to the owner of that cell phone. And I travel without a cell phone. I really like doing that. And you know what? I've been able to go lots of places, tens of thousands of miles without a cell phone, and it works. For me, it works. We've got Alan in West Virginia. Alan, welcome. Alan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're on the air live with Captain John Regan and me.
Okay. All right. Listen, this is a little bit off topic, but I have to ask this because I've been trying to figure this out for 3 or 4 months. I have my volume turned up all the way on the computer, everywhere, and I can barely hear you guys. Is there any way you can kind of because I love your show. I just love it to death, but I can't hardly hear it. Is there any way that a person could check into that for me, please?
Sure. I will ask our engineer to look into that, and we'll give a report on the air. Is there anything else that you'd like to ask?
No, that's it. I'm the one that called with you on the hot water tank, but I know it's off topic, so I'll let you get back to your programming.
Great. Okay. We'll see if we can do something about that. John, do you have any thoughts on? Thank you. Do you have any thoughts on improving the volume at the computer level? I mean, obviously we can crank up the output from the audio device, and we could crank up the volume of the amplifying device. We could do that. Turn up the speakers and turn up the audio coming out of the PC, if you will. Any other thoughts?
I've known some computers that are just notoriously quiet, and I've had to go and of course nowadays they're fairly inexpensive. Get a set of external speakers, plug into the USB port, and then you can usually crank up the volume much more than what you need.
Okay, are we talking about $10 or $15 or $20 for a set of speakers, USB?
Right.
Okay, there you go. So that's our answer. Now, in my case, I've got a headphone amplifier that has separate volume controls and a master output volume control, so I can do it that way. And I also have a stereo amplifier in the studio, and I can crank that up to 70 watts if I wanted to. But so that's how I do it. I have an old antique Technics brand stereo amplifier in the studio. With
it's also possible he's having a problem with an audio driver, but that gets to be a lot more complicated to work on, especially remotely.
Yeah. Okay, what's next, John?
Well, we were talking about the implications.
Yeah.
And we now have these artificial intelligences that can learn on their own. Not only that, they're able to innovate, which was seen by certain moves made by AlphaGo, which is the name of this program. And whereas it's been put out, especially by the White House lately, that it's going to be the lower end jobs that will see the brunt of the force of the artificial intelligence, but that's not really true. With this type of AI, pretty much any job, probably a few exceptions, that humans currently do. Anything's from the article here, from lawyers to judges, nurses to doctors, driving to construction, and all of this at potentially a grandmaster's level of capability. And also adding to that, consider the accounting and finance world. We've already got these AIs and the high-frequency trading that are driving the market. You cannot compete with those, because even if you're sitting there in front of the computer, first off, these are situated so close to the exchanges, and in fact, they pay big money to be right next door because every microsecond counts. By the time the signal gets from the computer to you elsewhere in America, and you look at a chart and you make a decision, even if you're just waiting for a certain tick to happen, and all you got to do is click, that second or two is a lifetime for these computers. You can't beat them on a timing basis. And you look at what a CPA has to do. The tax code is about 7 times the size of the Bible. You cannot understand that whole tax code, no matter how good you are. And that doesn't even include, cases and rulings and all of that. And then you add in all the rest of what goes on with the laws and regulations and all the, rendered legal decisions. These computers will be able to assimilate all of that, and you just plain don't have the capacity. You can't learn fast enough. You have to sleep. And now they're even becoming even more creative. So I think we've seen a few sci-fi shows out there where, the computers take over, make the decisions because the humans are, a much lesser species and unable to do this for themselves. And then what happens when the computers decide that, the humans are the problem? So it goes beyond just being, losing jobs, which is bad enough. What happens if they decide that, we're not worth keeping around at all?
John, you just mentioned jobs. I read a post last night that the vast majority of jobs that have been, we'll call them created, I don't know what that even means, but they are minimum wage jobs. The vast majority of them. I'm talking like 90%. And you look at what you've just said. It absolutely dovetails with that. We are implementing computer technologies, all kinds of computer technologies to replace people. And we are becoming a lower form than these computers. We can't weld as well. We can't machine as well. We make more mistakes. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Hi, Pat Matthews again. I want to talk to you about selling online. And when I say selling, I'm talking about your home, your car, and even buying a house or a new set of wheels. There's a new kid in town, and that's buysellmakeoffer.com. The revolution has already begun, and I invite you to be a part of it. You see, get in on the ground floor because buysellmakeoffer.com never charges item fees. Can you imagine what the other guys might charge you for selling a car on their site, let alone a house? Well, buysellmakeoffer.com doesn't do that. And you can use Skype and YouTube videos to sell your products, big or small. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and set up your account. For as little as $7.95 per month, you can sell up to 50 items, and they'll give you the first 30 days free just to try it out. Remember, no per item fees. Join the revolution today. buysellmakeoffer.com and tell them Pat Matthews sent you.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hi there. Are you an unhappy timeshare owner? Have you ever asked yourself, how can I get rid of my timeshare? Does your story go something like Stacy's story goes? Here's Stacy now.
My husband and I went and visited a resort, and they kind of attacked us, and they kept sending more and more people until we finally said yes, and we bought this timeshare, and then we were stuck in this timeshare that we couldn't get rid of, and we tried all different ways. They made it seem like it was this really great deal, and when we said no originally, then they brought the price down, and then when we still said no, they brought in the manager, and they brought the price down even lower, and they started breaking it in different ways to make it look like it was this really awesome deal. The reality was it wasn't an awesome deal at all.
To cancel your timeshare contract, call ACC today. It's an attorney-based program with a free consultation. The first 20 callers get a 20% discount. Call now, 800-587-EXIT. That's 800-587-3948. Call today, 800-587-EXIT. That's 800-587-3948.
If you want to raise the next generation of Patriot leaders, take a look at Freedom Project Academy, a Judeo-Christian online school for kindergarten through high school. No Common Core teaching methods or high-stakes testing. Freedom Project Academy is government-free, doesn't accept any government funding, and is a fully accredited private school. All classes are taught live online with real teachers across the country. Open enrollment runs March through July, but classes fill up quickly. Check them out at fpeusa.org. That's fpeusa.org.
Captain John Reagan's with us, the financialstateoftheunion.com. John, you know, we're talking earlier about U.S. is number one. We're number one in prison population. Now, that's brought to us by our governments, right? State, local, federal. Okay. We're number one in hours spent in front of a television. I believe a lot of that's because we don't have jobs. And that's brought to us by our government. And we are number one in prescription drug use. That's brought to us with the assistance of our government. We don't have health care. We have sick treatments. Maybe if you can get an appointment.
And the new head of the FDA is out of big pharma.
Yeah, right. And when I talked to the person watching at Walmart at the self-checkout, she said that people are, deliberately trying to get away with items that they haven't paid for. Now, I believe that there's an amount of people who just are taking things just maybe for the thrill or because they want to. But I also believe that people are taking things because they can't afford them because the economy is so bad. So I believe that's part of our government. And what I'm saying is, we're number one in a lot of things. The Department of Education has dumbed down our education to the point where we are falling. And a lot of the problems that we have come right from the top, right from Washington, D.C. They've engineered it. They're incompetent. They are belligerent with their abuses. And then we're number one in the number of people who are killed by the police. Number one. And we've been commenting and ranting about that for years, what the police are doing. And yesterday I saw the cops sniping with their radar guns. They were hiding. They were literally hiding. Who needs these guys to snipe? We don't need them. We thought that they were on our side. We thought that they were protecting and serving. Nonsense. And I keep hearing people say every once in a while, I know some good cops. And I say to them, yeah, I'm sure you feel that way. I'm just looking forward to seeing the proof. Show me one. Show me one. Because I don't believe there is one. Not that I've seen.
Guess what? We're going to run out of time again. So let me cover a couple of more. The last one on employment, jobs will be great. And then all the way at the bottom, button pushers. And the jobs will be great. The robots will take our jobs, and Ray Kurzweil thinks that's great. And he, in the interview, talks about, what jobs are going to be created? That's what's happened before when new technology has come into play. And he says, I don't know. We haven't invented them yet. And while that's been true in the past, what's different this time is we now have technology that can do pretty much anything a human can do. So I think we're reaching the end of the line on that. And in button pushers, city had to stop arresting actual criminals because they filled up their jail with nonviolent offenders. And when I scrolled down and started reading, guess what? This is Greene County, Springfield, Missouri, that has done this.
Yeah, I met some of those thugs. They came and threatened to arrest me. And not only that, they did arrest Aaron Brummett, one of our instructors. Yeah, for preaching on the street. And they came to arrest me, and they couldn't. Criminal trespass. They accused me of criminal trespass. And I said, what? Criminal trespass? I came to an event, I paid my $10, I walked in, and they were going to arrest me if I didn't leave for criminal trespass. Put me in jail because I went to an event and paid my $10 just like everybody else. Yeah, that's Springfield, Missouri. That's Greene County, Missouri. And when I say Missouri is corrupt, I'm not kidding. And here's the proof. Here's the proof. Unbelievable. The population is 165,000, and they're unable to arrest more than 12,000 people for crimes such as traffic infractions and misdemeanor assaults. Unbelievable. Hey, John Regan, thanks so much for bringing this to our attention. And corruption is spreading all over the United States of America. We're not immune from it. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available.